about the notion of categories. Anyways, Bertens in 2001 mentioned that under Middle Ages, hostile regime commune will have notion and felt varies from the manner that we believe and sense now in a capitalist providence, that is, a frugality in which commodities are manufactured by great condensations of capital and then commercialized on a gratis, competitive shop. Clarice in 1938 declared that here we arrive to the most essential fault of vulgar sociology. Commune who speak so much about categories and literature in actuality recognize nothing about category strife. In reality, they are detaching the category strife from socialism. At the foundation of all the silliness of abusive sociology deceive not the Leninist but also the bourgeois Menshevist notion of categories. Roquemore, in 2002, found that at the age of writing, the American providence has until recently been extending for nearly a decade at an average unprecedented since the Second Universe Combat, yet the proportion of families incidences below the formally determined minimum standard of revenue is rising, the cavity between the wealthy and the indigent is rising, and a great section of the American inhabitants still has no medicinal encasement. Though there is much debate about individual rights, there is amazingly no assent that global medical encasement is wished for, much less a right. William in 1977 found that it is literally a breath of precision, a shake in practice, a break in the feeling of death, imposing us back at what time that imitated favorable and obtainable, all the prepared insertions into a critical dispute, all the attainable access into instant experience, yet the prudence cannot be looked over. However, notice in 2009 explained that the smooth connects crucial and literary shape, theory and civilized theme, history and critique, and specifies official alteration and animated imaging in the supersession of a breadth of institutional crisis. Literature, by extension, is the death of the civilized organization of capitalism that advances during seizures and records on standard of shape. Form is the expressing of the civilized organization of capitalism, which is itself a web of passive connections. All that is not inceptive can on this computation be recognized as cultivation. In addition, William in 1977 found that community, providence, culture, each of these regions, now attached by a notion, is a relatively modern historical shape. Community was because friendship, firm, widespread doing, before it began to be the depiction of a commune framework or order. Frugality was the arrangement of a domestic and then the running of a society before it became the depiction of a recognized framework of manufacture, distribution, and reciprocation.